it's like I made a deal with the devil. I like the finer things in life. Platinum cars and a bougie wife. Fast ass cars with racing stripes. Catch me on that first class flight. My closet's full of designer brands. One night stand screaming, oh baby damn. Camels those from Pakistan. Motherfucker, I'm the man. I made a deal with the devil. Never been to take a break and settle. I made a deal with the devil. Push your monkeys, you ain't on my level. I made a deal with the devil. Oh, I see easy, your name. They call me the donkey. Coming from the south with an extra clout. Hot your pants and hot your spout. Heathens in route, burn it down the house. No doubt, send each other's what it's all about. My name's Johnny and I stay low key. Smoking no weed that it'll fucking choke me. Got a case of the king of flight. I'm losing grip on reality. As I toss in my suitcase and money that moves me state to state. Trying to keep a straight face, but inside I'm a fucking donkey. I made a deal with the devil. Never been to take a break and settle. I made a deal with the devil. Push your rockets, you ain't on my level. I made a deal with the devil. I made a deal with the devil. Yo, you got a part? Yeah, cool if you did.
Ooh, that's growing to be one of my favorite songs right now.
It's very fun to play.
For
We
real.
enjoyed it.
I like how it's like smooth and then it gets really fucking heavy for a minute and then it calms back down and gets fucking heavy again. I love that shit.
Absolutely, absolutely.
I just came across you guys not too long before this past year's gathering.
Oh, okay, I got you.
And then I caught your guys' set at the gathering, and that was dope. And like, how did you guys form together as a band?
So, how Heathen Sun actually came to be was so this was actually before this conception happened, before I was in the band, but from my understanding it was a duo at first. Heathen Sun was a duo between Drunken Donuts number 13, our guitarist, and Johnny Anthrax. And they were just doing stuff on the East Coast and whatnot, just going down the beaches and performing shows. And then finally they were like, no, let's go ahead and get some more people in on this. And get some more jerseys, make it like a uniform, and here we are now. But yeah, it started off as a duo between the two of them.
You're guitarist, right?
Yes.
Who was your influences when you started playing? Obviously, there's probably like Dimebag, I'm assuming, is one of
I listened to a lot of Pantera as a child. Yes, I
for sure.
grew
I
up
can
with
definitely hear that.
a lot of metal. I was very fortunate to have a metal elitist dad that just force fed me all sorts of stuff that was like anywhere between late 80s to late 90s, all the thrash, industrial, pretty much all of the greats when it came to like guitar virtuosos in the metal scene and whatnot. I was like really heavy on Megadeth, Sepultura, Pantera, a lot of things like that. And then I started to explore, and I got really big into industrial and new metal. And I just started paying a lot of attention to how you can add a little bit of silliness into aggression. And I just really love the vibe. So we obviously, as a band, Heathen Sun, we add a lot of that into our lyricism, our guitars, everything. I mean, Deal with the Devil's perfect example. We have a Dazed and Confused reference in that song. So, and it fits. It's not like it takes away from anything. It's hilarious, and we love it.
Right. You guys formed in 2020, 2021?
2021 to 2022, I believe, is the creation of Heathen Sun. Yes.
For sure. And that's the first time you were all together to release something? Or is there any of the members that you have prior releases with before Heathen Sun?
It would have been around 2022 to 2023 when we had like the full band get together, I believe.
What brought you guys together, like to lock in, to solidify each member? What was the process of that?
Oh, it was very grueling.
Did you guys go ahead?
The process was genuinely whoever was up for it to do this kind of music. And I think on their part, as far as the duo goes, they did a lot of sifting and through a lot of people who wanted to come forward and perform this music with us and see who was genuinely up to par with, making the music come alive. So, yeah, genuinely, it was just like whoever's like genuinely about this and has a good stage presence and is good with the people, the customer, the fan, and everything like that. It was like, okay, if they took it out for a test run, and I think it did really well as a full band, and now here we are.
Your first tour, that was Cottonmouth Kings and Crazy Town, right?
That sounds about right. Yes, that would have been the band's first tour, I believe.
For sure. I grew up with Cottonmouth Kings myself. Were those some people you guys looked up to in the underground scene?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, Cottonmouth did a lot of things that I think a lot of groups were like afraid to do. Like that's a solid group right there. We're friendly with them. We
Chucky
just got off a tour with
homie.
them in October with Rehab. That's a solid group of dudes right there. They have a really good product. They're true about the business that they're in. I don't know, and it's really interesting to see them perform. I really like the way that they get a little militant about their stage presence, and like I think that is like super cool that they're a solid group.
Yeah, for sure. And I like the elements that Judge D and Chucky Chuck add to Cottonmouth.
Oh, absolutely, yes.
Chucky Chuck's the homie. Fuck yeah. He's a really good dude.
Yeah, he's fun. He's fun to tour with.
Oh,
For
I'm
sure.
sure.
Never having a bad day with that guy.
And back then it would have been even wilder, you know, he was a partier and heavy into substances. And so, what was it like meeting them the first time? Like Devo and
So my first time meeting them, I actually wasn't even in the band. I was in a local group at the time, I think, and I opened up a show for Heathen Sun and Cottonmouth Kings.
oh,
And I remember, yeah, and it would have been D-Loc, Judge D, Chucky Chuck. I met the three of them for the first time. They were really cool. The thing that I really like about their group is that sometimes you see this on the road with like a lot of groups that have been established that we've known for a while in the industry. They don't really associate with the fans or local openers, and Cottonmouth Kings. They do 100% of the time. They're always about like, we're gonna have a good show. Nice to meet all of you. This is gonna be great. And they'll actually converse with everybody. And so it was really neat that they gave me the time of day when I was in a local show, and I could say hi to them and talk with them like we were just average everyday people. It was really neat. And then from that moment forward, the thing that got me into Heathen Sun was that show. Um, my stage presence, I don't stop moving. I love hopping around the stage. I have to make a spectacle out of both the person holding the guitar and the guitar. And they really enjoyed seeing me work up there. So they
for
offered me a
sure.
shot at touring with them. And now I'm a member of the band, and it's been smooth sailing with everybody ever since then. But I definitely enjoyed meeting them for the first time. They were very humble, very cool.
Absolutely. Uh, I forgot what I was gonna say on that one. What's been your greatest moments as a member of Heathen Sun?
Ooh, oh, I have to think about that one. Greatest moment. Hmm. Greatest moment in Heathen Sun. There's been a lot of great moments. Do you mean as far as like an accomplishment, or just like, wow, I couldn't have seen this if I had not been in this band, or
Anything one that like sticks out the most to you, like has more the most meaning outside of
oh,
like playing like gatherings and stuff like that, because that's obviously a dream for a lot of people.
okay.
You know, to play the gathering.
I would have to say it happened on the Strange Days Part 2 tour with Rehab and Cottonmouth Kings in October of 2024. Our last show of the tour, we ended it in Denver, Colorado, and all of us collectively got to get on stage with Rehab. And we all got to sing Bartender with them. Now, to me, that was probably one of my biggest accomplishments because that band has always been in my house, like ever since I was a child. Like my mom and I absolutely love Rehab,
Yeah,
and just to be on stage with them and like sing a part of that song into the microphone with a group of people who collectively are like a community, are up there watching all of us, and just it's a spectacle for them, it's a spectacle for us. We're just like, whoa, we're sharing the stage with somebody. This is very fascinating. And Danny Boone just puts a mic up to your face as you're singing the song with him, and you just say it in front of everybody, just singing Bartender. I think that was definitely a moment in the group that we're going to remember for a really long time. It was very exciting. It wasn't necessarily planned. It was just something that kind of happened, and we're all like, "Yo, we're friends. Let's, end this tour the right way. Everybody get up on this stage," and that was very exciting. I would love to replay that memory in my head um, every chance I get. Honestly, it was something else.
Yeah, I hold like a special like love for Danny myself. Like this past year, on the Cottonmouth Kings rehab tour they just got off of not long ago. I talked my brother homie Sam Pookie to come with me to the show in Des Moines, Iowa, and he was like 15 minutes away from meeting me from Des Moines, where we were all out to eat and shit. We were gonna go chill with Chucky Chuck and them. Uh, his front passenger tire had blown on the interstate, and it threw him into I'm assuming the pillars that from the overpasses on the interstate, and he had passed away. And I'm sitting there calling him, wondering what's going on. Got the word out to have everybody else call, see if they can make contact with him. And I finally got a call back, and they told me that he had been in a car accident and didn't make it. And the feeling of that whole night was different. It wasn't what I was expecting. And when rehab went on, Danny, I believe, fucking went into talking about it a little bit and showing his love and everything on the situation. And Chucky Chuck tried sneaking up behind me, but his tall ass ain't sneaking up on nobody.
That is true.
And then he turned around, looked at me, he's like, "Oh man," and he just embraced me, dude, and like he just saw like what was going on.
Right.
And they shouted at Sam and everything during their set too, but I didn't even had talked to Danny or anything at that point, and he just went on stage and then talked about it for like 30 seconds or whatever, showing love.
That's
Yeah,
good.
really appreciated that.
Rehab is a solid group of dudes right there. And I remember this. This was Lefty's Live, was it not?
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember Chucky Chuck actually told us about that incident. I'm sorry to hear about that, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was rough. That whole night there was that feeling, that whole emotion was surrounding that venue that night.
Yeah.
I don't know if you remember or if you even watched any of the local openers, but one of the local rap artists that were there that night were performing because I think their brother was one of the rappers that was on this card with them, and they passed away that month from like an overdose. And most of the fans and the people that were there that night were actually out there for that guy to show support for him because his brother passed away, and they played his vocals on the backing track and whatnot. People were singing along with it, so that was a very dreary day. But I think it could have been way more dreary if nobody in that group came together and like it was all love that night. Lefty's Live was a very good night with showing us human compassion. That was a good one.
Yeah, the vibe was definitely different than normal.
Yes, I believe it. Once again, my condolences, man. That's rough.
Yeah, good point, Maliko. Shout out to Bash. He just lost his house in a house fire. He had just gotten moved into it, and I guess his house burnt down. So,
oh my,
feeling all right, Bash?
Yeah, prayers to Bash. That's not good at all.
And Bash, if you're hearing this, buddy, if you need anything, reach out to me. I'll do what I can. Has there been any like lows yet in your career where you're like, man, fuck this, I don't want to do this anymore, type thing?
Well, as far as the lows go, I've had a couple lows in my career as a musician. There was a time where I considered exerting more of my time and my energy into other things, but never fully putting down my instrument or even composing anything on the computer or anything like that. But there have been some lows where I'm like, all right, like, are we genuinely like building up any momentum like after this battle, after this struggle? But in the end, the answer is always yes. So, I mean, we've had times where we've like gone on like to like little rinky dink shows and things like that. And there's absolutely nothing going on for like a 3 to 4 day streak. That's just like, all right, this is tragic. But normally things like that get under people's skin because we, as individuals, have a lot of ego behind what we do. And generally, most of the time, when you're having a bad spot in your career, I would say most of the time it's genuinely not your fault and has absolutely nothing to do with your artwork as a whole. It's bad planning. It's just bad days. It's the demographic, geographical locations. But yeah, I've had some lows where I was like, okay, I need to pay attention more to a different avenue in music. Maybe it should be like interviewing. Maybe it should be something else that has something to do with the music that's not performing and traveling and wasting gas money. But at the end of the day, that passes after you get a phone call and somebody's like, hey, like, let's do New Year's Evil or something like that. Like, hell yeah. Like, things always look up after you have your lows. So I think that's something to take into consideration. Is that, like, yeah, you have lows, but like they're called lows because they don't stay that way. You bounce back up almost every time.
There's only direction to go is up.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and you guys just played. Was that like right before New Year's Evil? You had that feeling, or whatever, that like fuck this type thing.
No, it wasn't.
Or
Right
was that
before.
just like a example or whatever, like of things where you could go do to get out of that funk?
Hmm. Let me think. A good example of that. Yeah, we had a little. Okay, so yeah, I take that back. No, it would have been around New Year's Evil. There was just something very discouraging that popped up on this little like local run we were doing. We Somebody booked us on a show that was like right on Black Friday, and we were thinking the whole week was going to be good. And then we get to this Black Friday show, and there's like zero people there. It's Black Friday. Like, a lot of the times, like as far as marketing goes, like you have it in your head that like the holidays and whatnot are the times that people will be out partying and everything. And for the most part, that is true, but like not on a day like Black Friday. Everybody's stuffed full of turkey and they're ready to go to sleep, etc., etc. So like the week of Thanksgiving, I would tell people definitely don't do the week after Thanksgiving. Nobody's doing anything.
Depending the area, I'm sure there's areas where it would pop off, but for the most part,
Oh yeah, no, that is true. Absolutely. Yeah, you can always find like some city is doing something another city is not, and that rings true. Definitely when you're on tour, and you can see like the difference between Northwest, Midwest, New England. Like everybody's behaviors are very different. But yeah, this was on a local run, so like I think we were somewhere outside of Greensboro, North Carolina, and it just was not popping off, and we're like, ugh, like why are we even here? But at the end of the night, we still had fun. Still made connections. Still had people in our Rolodex after we left. Like it always looks up in the end.
for sure. What's What do you listen to when you go in to record something? Like, is there a certain artist you go to when you're going to tune in to do your stuff?
Ooh, all right, that is a good question. So our musical tastes are all across the board collectively as the group Heathen Sun. We have a lot of flavor that all of us have definitely studied while mastering our instruments. It's not just straight new metal or industrial metal or whatever subgenre you want to pick. Um, we have I don't know, there's like a we like a few funk elements like Parliament. We like bands like Faith No More. I myself am a very, very big fan of Leonard Cohen. I think his musical compositions are phenomenal. I think his poetry is great. But as far as before I record like a new metal track or add just a distorted guitar riff, like, hey, we're gonna may or may not use this for something else. Uh, as of recently, I've been on a really big like dark wave like synth pop kick. Like I've been paying attention to a lot of like techno templates and
Right.
things like that, which is so like left field. Like it's like off the wall. Like, huh?
Right, like I know I asked that because like I've heard Monoxide from Twisted say he listens to like Frank Sinatra and stuff like that before he goes in to record.
Oh, I
And
believe that 100%. Oh yeah,
it's just crazy to think about that because how big of a difference the genre is.
right. And
So,
I think a lot of people who are really big music fanatics but aren't themselves musicians, and I say this very liberally. Um, I think a lot of people don't take into consideration that sometimes when there is a genre or subgenre that is like very, very far apart and have nothing to do with one another, the mathematics and the timing and like the template of like this is bridge, this is chorus, this is pre-chorus, this is verse, a lot of the math in completely different genres are still there. And so I think musicians more than anybody else can actually identify and pick up with that. And so that does lead us down an avenue of like, yeah, I listen to Frank Sinatra or Boy Harsher before recording a rap or new metal or industrial metal track.
for sure. Yeah, I looking at it that way. Yeah, I could see that uh, opening up different things in your brain that you can add to your shit.
Yep,
Um,
it's just patterns we pick up on. Just, oh, that's the same as that. And to the normal ear, people are like, how do you figure? Like, there's a lot of things that we find correlation in. And I think that's what makes us musicians is that we find correlation in different spots and pockets that normal people wouldn't pick up on.
for sure. What's an artist that people would be surprised that you listen to?
Be surprised. I mean, uh, me personally, I think one thing that shocks a few people here and there when I say like, yeah, I'm really big into this band, and people are like, no way. Probably Mumford and Sons. I really like Mumford and Sons.
All right, yeah, I listen to them. I have a buddy that listens to all types of that music when he
Yeah,
was here, so it grew on me. I definitely didn't listen to it till after hanging around him.
right. But it's such good music. Like I
Yeah,
really enjoy it.
let's see. What's up with the mask? Why did you guys choose to wear masks?
Um, as far as the masks go, so right now we're working with like the latex and paracord masks. I think that's what these dreadlocks are made out of. Before that, they were knitted masks, and I guess it was just really like we had this thing for like a crime wave element into the music, like like kind of like Payday, video game with the clowns that dress up in like they got the tuxedos and then the clown masks and whatnot. I think our spin was like if you want to make a band look unifying and like militant but also like kind of goofy, like you get like a whole bunch of like sports gear, and then like you have like the robber mask and like you wear stuff like that. And yeah, it definitely is something that we really enjoyed, and we just kept it and just kept updating it, and it was a good look. People were like, what are you guys wearing? It's kind of cool, but like we're confused, and we're just like, all right, we're gonna keep doing that.
For sure. It wasn't, no, I don't want to be noticed out in public if we were to fucking blow up to the moon type deal.
That's one of the benefits. Yeah, I mean, like that was taken into consideration for sure, but no, it was solely just like how do we make our front man stand out even more, even though like he's a spectacle in himself. I mean, like the long beard and the kilt. But yeah, it was just like all like crime wave stuff, like bringing a new like we had some of them that had like the Uzi. We had like the little like or Mac 10 right here, and then the dollar sign and whatnot. It was just like a big crime wave element added to our spin on new metal.
For sure. Well, I'd like it. It's dope.
Appreciate it.
Professional and very late, but I just wanted to pop and say nice to meet you real quick.
Oh, nice to meet you.
This is Sam Pookie's little brother.
Did you just say Pookie?
Pookie.
Wait, what's the last name?
Last name's Poket. His nickname was Pokey.
Oh, okay, I got you. Because I saw you have like the Cookies logo on here, and I was like, did you just call him Cookie?
Ah, shit. I feel like I caused a weird silence hopping in here.
You did.
You did. I was just about to pull up a sign to play quick.
I was gonna say I do fuck with the look.
Yeah.
Massive lots. Shit's fresh.
You know what you're not gonna fuck with?
Huh.
The smell. No.
The inside of your face mask just smells like shit. Only you have to deal with that.
These are latex. These are really easy to clean, but we used to have the knitted ones, and that one would trap. Oh, it was terrible. You have to throw them out. You couldn't even wash them.
Sounds. That's all I can picture from the description there. I'm picturing like it getting covered in sweat and shit.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
We get a lot of sweat. We can like take our masks off after a set and like pour it out of the mask.
Bring it into a cup.
Victory drink.
This is the taste of victory.
The taste of victory.
I look at the comments and I just see more gross stuff.
Oh, dude, like, yeah. And they were getting it here.
This world done got us fucked up. Won't get broken. with the boss. 911, don't fucking work, my dear. It's the danger realm, and your time ends here.
That was tight. What's that called? Four Kings?
Four Kings. Yep, that song was garbage. No, I'm kidding. That's one of our favorites.
Chucky Chuck has got his hands in literally everything in the underground.
Absolutely.
He's everywhere.
Yeah, he stays busy, man. He really does.
For sure.
Where'd you
Now,
guys?
when you were making that song, like, was that a thing where you're like, okay, the title's Four Kings. Now, do we have to have one of the KMK members in it? Or did that just so happen that it was one of the Cottonmouth Kings and it was called Four Kings?
So I'm going to be honest with you. Remember that show we talked about that I opened up for Heathen Sun and Cottonmouth? That music video was actually shot that day. And I'm in the back doing in the little mosh pit area with everybody. So that was actually the day that that Heathen Sun was actually keeping an eye out on me, being like, hey, that guy actually moves around a lot. So I can't actually speak on that, but I think it was originally called Four Kings before that. And I think that tour that happened with Cottonmouth and Heathen Sun back in the that would have been 2 years ago, I think, landed them like a feature with him. And they were like, hey, by the way, I think we got a song called Four Kings. We'd like to have you on it. I think that's how it went down, if I remember correctly.
That's dope.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Luke.
I want to know where the outside portion of that video was filmed. It just seemed tight. The whole group together outside.
So that was so there's in the mosh pit area that we had in that segment of the song was filmed in the back of Hooligans on Jacksonville Beach in North Carolina. Yes. Yeah, that's a good venue. We play there a lot. It's a really good spot. A lot of good traffic comes through with a lot of big name bands and everything. It's a really cool place to play if you're on tour. But that's where that portion was filmed. And then I believe the rest of the video, as far as like the stage shots, were filmed in Hooligans and Ground Zero in Spartanburg, South Carolina. So
Is
it was
that another venue?
Sorry?
My apologies. Is that another venue?
Yes, that's another venue. Yeah, so I think it was a video filmed on a tour. Like that was a little run. Like we're gonna film it day by day and whatnot. And then yeah, that's where I hooked up with them and met them. And then finally I got a shot to be the guitarist for that group.
How did that conversation go when you first joined up?
So I messaged them shortly after that, after getting to know them and talking with everybody, talking with KMK, talking with Heathen Sun. And I just shot him a message like a week after that show because like my dopamine was through the roof. Like that was a milestone for me as a local musician in North Carolina to do that. Yeah. I was like, wow, super stoked. So I went ahead and I messaged them and I was like, hey, just want to let you know, like, I really enjoy the scene that you guys are in, because I was in a different one. I was doing like alternative stuff and a little bit of new metal here and there. But I really enjoyed the group of people that they performed with, like what all they were doing. And I just shot them a text. And then I just said, I was like, I really enjoyed the scene. I really like the product you guys have. I really like the music. If you guys ever need anybody to like, you know, fill in or do touring, like for guitar work and whatnot, like I'm the guy, just let me know. And then like on the drop of a dime, man, they just hit me up out of the blue one day and they were like, hey, let's go. I'm like, I'm already packed. Let's do it.
That's fucking dope.
Yes, I'm very grateful to be where I'm at. This was very exciting.
Hell yeah, man. That's gotta be a real like surprise too, you know, fucking like 2 weeks beforehand, no contact. 2 weeks later, oh shit, I'm part of a band.
Right. Well, I will admit it took longer than that, but yeah, for reference.
Hey, look,
You should forwardly. I feel I'm a bit out of the loop for popping in with any questions.
Oh no,
Oh,
you're
you're
good.
good, man. Just
I was just gonna ask you if you could give me a couple minutes. I gotta go to the bathroom.
oh yeah.
I can do my best to make some conversation. I don't need you since I'm a host. So shit, man. How long you been playing?
Let's see here. I think I've been playing guitar for about I think we're coming up on 11 years, I think.
Fuck.
Yep.
Long ass time, man. You got the callous fingers to show it?
Nope. I don't know why, but my fingers are not calloused at all, and I play every day.
They don't bleed or nothing?
Nope, not at all. I just like it's like a little like you can tell like there's like a little bit of like excess skin on this hand compared to the other one, but I don't have any crazy calluses like at all.
You don't play with a pick, huh?
Oh no, yeah, I do.
Sure. The pick makes it a little bit better.
Absolutely. Yeah. When I play bass, like sometimes I'll do like bass riffs in the band when we do live shows just because bass is so fun. I don't use a pick on bass at all. Like that.
So, do you play any other instruments aside
Um,
from guitars?
so as far as this group goes, I do some backing vocals. I'll do the lead guitar riffs and then I'll jump on bass. But as far as like everything that I'm capable of, I do a lot of experimental stuff and I mess around with synthesizers, pianos, and stuff like that.
Oh yeah, you ever fuck around with a oh man, I always forget the name, a theremin.
I've always wanted to, never found one. I have not found one yet.
You gotta go online, some order one of them bitches.
Yeah, I've always wanted to like run into one, like I've been to like Sweetwater, I've been to like Guitar Center, Sam Ash. I've never been like walk through like all the rooms and just found a theremin or anything like that. I just want to be able to like see one before I purchase it and be like, that's a theremin, play it for me.
Just one in a dusty closet in the back of a music shop. Hard to find, you gotta ask specially for it. So I'm not as kept up with Heathen Sun. I don't know the group as well. Being real, how long have you been with them?
So I have been with them since May of 2024.
May of 2024.
Mm-hmm.
I have no concept of the order of months, so I'm gonna say that's about half a year, little over.
Little over half a year. Yep.
That's fucking dope, man. What did you do before that? Did you have a separate solo act, or were you in another group?
I was in another group at that time doing alternative music. I was in a band called Leaving Echoes out of Winston-Salem, North Carolina. Very, very fun band. Kept me on my toes, learning how to do lead parts for a lot of alternative music. It was definitely different than what I was into. And then Crypto Child is actually one of my solo careers that I work on. And then I just kept the name when moving over to Heathen Sun, and that's my name in this group as well.
I feel it. I like that. I mean, it gives continuity as well. Easier to look your shit up. So with them, how long were you with them?
The alternative band?
Yes.
Ooh. Oh man, now I got to really backtrack. I think I was with that group like for about a year and a half, maybe going on 2, if I remember correctly.
were they accepting of you moving onward?
Yes, for the most part, they definitely were like, okay, good for you, and yeah, always been on good terms with them and whatnot afterwards. I don't think there was any animosity, and if there was, I didn't get that vibe at all, and they were very nice about it.
Yeah, they were maybe just a little salty with timing or something, but overall just cool about it.
Oh yes, absolutely salty with timing, but that was on my part. I had no control of that, you know.
Yeah. Oh, that's fair enough. I mean, I'm not sure if I can play their music, so I just, as something to compare it to, who would you say they sound like? What range are they in? You say alternative, but that can mean a lot.
Um,
Cage the Elephant versus Slipknot, like
right. No, it was like Mazzy Star, Slow Dive, uh, mixed with what another. There was a lot of grunge elements and a lot of like '90s hard rock elements in the band. It was really fun. It was really fun to do their music for sure. But yeah, it was very different from what I'm doing now with these guys.
what you be listening to. Do you listen to the same type of music you make, or are you one of those that all I listen to is lo-fi all day, all night, but then you're just shredding the fucking guitar?
So this question was actually already asked in this interview, but I'll
Damn.
go ahead and get you up to speed. So I'm a very big fan of like Leonard Cohen, and as of recently, I've been like getting really big into like synth pop and dark wave more than I used to, with bands like Gunship and Boy Harsher. Like there's a
Can't
lot
say
of
I know any of those artists, to be honest with you. I'd like to say I know rock pretty well, like everything from some old classic like Pink Floyd type shit, or fucking what was that one group, Joseph, Paul and Mary, shit like that,
Peter, Paul, and Mary.
Yeah, Peter, Paul and Mary, all the way up to like fucking, Mushroom Head.
Right.
Saw Green Jelly live. I fuck with them.
Oh, Heathen Sun has done a few shows with them as well.
They're nasty, man. They fucking really spit on the fans. They have those people come out with the puppet heads and they spray the green shit at you, which is cool, but then they actually spit.
Ew, yeah, I could do without that.
Yeah. I mean, if you know about them and you get in the front row, I guess you're asking for it, or you
That is
want to.
Right.
No, I like their shit though. Fucking, how were your shows with them?
I wasn't on those shows, but they said it was a very interesting blend of, what I don't even know. What would you categorize Green Jelly's genre as? Like comedy metal?
Man, that'd be a hard one to knock out the park. Lee, you got a suggestion for that? How would you categorize? What would the genre of Green Jelly be?
Green jelly sucks. No, I don't know. I don't know. I never really
Like they
thought
have
about
punk elements. There's some punk in there, but like
Yeah, I would say like comedy metal is a good description. It's not always comedy though. Not always.
no, not at all.
So like, yeah, I don't know. Metal would be the overall. That's how I describe them. How would you describe Heathen Sun?
I would describe us as a new metal band above all. Like it genuinely is. Like the genre that we're in is new metal. I would say we have some industrial elements, some hip hop and rap elements, and what would another one be? It's another
Little bluesy.
little bluesy. No, I don't think we have any like genuine blues riffs yet.
Like you said, I think punk fits it.
Punk?
Yeah, got some punk elements. Man, at least with the aesthetic.
Okay, yeah, that would definitely make sense. Oh yeah, you can take into account stage presence and things like that. Definitely has like a little bit of a punk vibe to it for sure.
Like you guys wouldn't be out of place with a lot of other groups. What's up, honey? For sure.
No, we found a way how to like fit in with a lot of different like aspects of like, let's say, we found a way genuinely to like fit into a lot of subgenres that we share the stage with other performers around the US. Like, we don't really feel too out of place when like we'll do like an all punk show or like an all thrash or like metal show. It's like, no, there's like, we have a few songs that like everybody like in these subgenres are like, damn, that was a banger right there. Like,
Yeah, you can keep it peaceful or wild out if that's what people want.
right, absolutely. And that actually brings me to an announcement that we have come February. We will be going on tour with, for the most part, an industrial tour package. In the month of February, we are touring with a band called Cyclone 9, Ventana, and we're starting the tour off with a show with Heavy Hitter. We will be.
Their name is Cyclone 9 Ventana.
No, they're two different bands. Sorry, Cyclone
Okay.
9, and I think it's pronounced Cyclone, like
Cyclone.
Cyclone B or something like that.
Okay.
Yeah, and then Ventana, and we'll be starting it off with a show with a Heavy Hitter. We're going to go everywhere from pretty much Chicago to Atlanta on this one. We're hitting up the Midwest, coming back down, going back down south. If anybody is interested in looking up this tour and everything, it is on the Heathen Sun webpage, Facebook, Instagram, everything in between. If you want to catch us out there, and that will definitely be an interesting run for us. We can already tell because everybody involved is like completely different in the metal and rock category than we are. But I think we're going to still find a way to knock it out of the park and show everybody that like, hey, we can be here too, and everybody in any rock and metal subgenre can definitely coexist and bring something to the table at a live show.
Oh yeah.
Any Minnesota, Iowa, or Omaha stops?
I think
When you say Midwest, do you mean like up Midwest or like bottom Midwest?
yeah, I'm talking like
Illinois.
Indianapolis.
I see. That's kind of Midwest.
Kind of Midwest. I mean, like, it's classified as Midwest, but I understand if like there's some like elitist out
Yeah,
the
you
Midwest.
look
Like,
at
no,
it
that's
on the
not
map
Midwest.
and you're
I
like,
get
that's
that.
not Midwest.
You can yell at me in the comment section. I don't care.
I'm an elitist, just because not enough groups come out to Minnesota.
Right? Hey, we did do that in October. Minnesota was very, very exciting. That was a fun one for sure.
October was.
It was cold.
It was negative 32 last night. What's that? Yeah.
Fucking negative 30 up here like a few days ago too.
Yikes. Where are you located at?
I'm in Minnesota. He's, if he'd like to say.
I'm right there by him.
Okay, I got you. So you guys really up there.
Fucking, it's cold as shit, man.
Oh, I believe it.
You gotta wait fucking for everything to heat up too. It just, yeah, it sucks ass. But that's getting off topic. I wanted to ask if you had any specific bands you kind of excited to work with.
Wait, I'm sorry. You kind of like fuzzed out. What was that?
My bad. You got any like groups that you really want to work with? Any you aspire to go on stage with?
Ooh. Anybody that I would like to share the stage with. So I think it would have been cool, but I don't see this happening at all. This is just a fantasy at this point. I think it would have been very cool to go on Snot's revival tour that's going on right now. That would have been really cool. But I think there's a lot of groups out there that we would really enjoy working with. As far as just like
Dropout Kings.
Dropout
Oh,
King.
that'd be a cool one.
We've done some work with them in the past. That's a really good group of dudes right there.
Yeah, I kind of compare you guys a little bit.
I could see that. You know, you guys rocking on the same stage. Yeah.
Oh yeah, absolutely. That would actually be a neat tour for sure. Yeah, I'd like to make that happen. Dropout Kings, if you see this, we gotta do some work together. We gotta get on the road.
Party crowd.
The people want it.
You'd
But-
have a whole audience full of people extra fucked up, man.
right? I
Bring
will
out the
say this.
stressors.
It's not so much as far as like my personal dream for the band Heathen Sun is not actually to work alongside another band to be like, oh, this is a milestone for us, like this is really big. There's a lot of opportunity out there for us, and we're always really excited when somebody's like, hey, like come do this show and whatnot. For instance, like Twisted New Year's Evil hit us up personally to do that show, and we're like, really, us? Like, thank you. That we were ecstatic. But I think the one thing that I'd be like, this is cool, is not a band to work with, but a certain media to work with. I would love to have one of our tracks in anything related to the Twisted Metal TV show, or if there is a new video game that would show up at some
That
point.
would be fucking sick. Like a little bonus track in there or something.
Absolutely. Yes. I would love for us to have at least one or two tracks that have been put out in something like video games or like a really badass TV show that's like very like 90s oriented. Anything in that ballpark that's like that would be like the cool. I'd be like, all right, we made it.
Yeah, that'd be fucking tight, man. I can already see something like that fitting just super well too. You know, there is a group that I could see you guys doing some shit with, though. I mean, other people might disagree, but do you know the band Grandson?
I am not familiar. No.
Lee, you think we could pop one of those songs on?
I don't know. Who?
Grandson? I was gonna say, if you're interested, we might be able to play a track.
Okay. Well, how would you describe Grandson?
Oh fuck, man, I'm bad at putting people into genres. You know, they're rock, that's for sure. Fucking shit, Lee, do you know Grandson? Does anybody in the chat know Grandson? Is anybody a little smarter than me? Able to word this a little better? You should play like Drugs Don't Work Like They Used to, or Blood in the Water if you do find one.
Man, you need to work on describing people, dude. You guys are interviewing guys that are rocking metal. You gotta know how to describe things.
Okay, that's fair, but like you've got some groups that sound like fucking Peter, Paul, and Mary calling themselves, you know, the next Metallica, and then you've got, you know, some dudes that are doing some Metallica shit that are, oh, I'm all punk.
Okay, that is fair. I'll give you that. We do have a lot of gray lines when it comes to music now, like more than ever.
Subgenres are such a, you know, like what would you describe ICP as? Rock or rock rap, or like fucking horrorcore, or like metal rap, some of their songs.
I wouldn't. So I've never really associated them with horrorcore. I always said that was Twisted. Like Twisted's horrorcore.
I mean, I can see having like a separate definition of that. I feel like there's kind of two sides of horrorcore too. But see, that's the bitch with subgenres.
All right, you've made your point. I redact my earlier statement.
Did you find one, Lee? You can tell us off too. We don't have to quit.
No. Leading up to performing the gathering, what was that mind state and the feeling when you got that fucking email?
That was a question for you, buddy.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't hear that.
Now, leading up to the gathering, when you got that email, what was that feeling and process like with everybody? Yeah, getting that email saying you're approved to perform.
Oh yeah, I can only imagine that was pretty exciting.
Oh, you mean the Gathering 2023?
Right.
Unfortunately, I wasn't there for that one, but
Yeah.
What was 2024 like for you?
2024. Oh, we weren't at 2024 Gathering.
You guys didn't play side stage? Maybe I'm thinking of 23.
This guy trips too hard. He
No.
informed me that he's been in the band since May of 2024.
Who?
This guy right here.
2024? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, our special guest of the night.
But 2023 Heathen Sun performed at the Gathering. 2024 we tried to do it, and they weren't taking any groups that were there the year before, is what they told us for the 2024 lineup. So we did not do it last.
They say that to people, but sometimes they say it after booking them 2 or 3 years in a row. I feel like that's their excuse. You guys need to be there at 25.
All right, yeah, we'll hit them back up.
It's a fun. Well, I haven't been on it, so I can't say, but it looks like a fun ass stage to be on.
Right? No, it does. I wish I would have done it this year, but like they had a very interesting tales to tell me about it from the 2023 show. They were like, it was crazy.
Have you personally gathered? Are you a juggalo, my friend?
I like to consider myself one. I consider myself a closeted juggalo.
Closeted juggalo. Come out on this podcast. Say it loud.
Absolutely. Just this one, but no, I've definitely been. Yeah, man. Actually, ICP. Come to think of it, has like always been in my house. That has always been albums worth of ICP playing when I was like growing up as a kid. I actually listen to it a lot with my mom. Like that's our go-to when we're like on long car rides headed somewhere. We're always like, yeah, put on Insane Clown Posse. But no, I've never gone to see them. I actually, believe it or not, I do not like going to shows like as like the customer. I really like, I see bands all the time that show up in my area, and I'm like,
you want to be on stage?
It's not even that. It's like, because like I don't say that with like a shred of ego. Like, no, I'm supposed to be performing with them. Like, I don't mean it like that at all. I need somebody to tell me where to go and take care of me, so I'm not stuck in a crowd of people where I have like crazy ass anxiety, and I'm just like, I don't know what to do. You want to check my pockets? Like, no, I don't like that.
Don't touch me.
Yeah, I do not like going to shows on my own.
Until they walk away and walk past them. Fuck those guys. The security.
It's always been an issue for me. I don't know. And I've mustered up the courage. Like after I get off tour, you have to stay busy because sometimes post-tour depression hits you. And like I will get out of my shell because I still have that dopamine rush of being out on the road for about a month or two.
And staying busy like that too.
Absolutely. And I will go to big shows for stuff like that, but I never got the chance to go see Insane Clown Posse or see any Juggalo associated acts until I got into this group and started touring and performing.
How old are you, my new friend? You don't seem to be a child.
I'm 22.
22?
Mm-hmm.
Shit, I'm 23. You're already beating me for music.
Speaking of,
It's not a competition. It's not a race. It just happens when it happens.
It's a fucking competition.
talking about the anxiety thing, have you ever had like an anxiety meltdown while on stage performing through your?
No, fun fact, I have not.
No,
It's always after the show that you're like, fuck, what was that?
Yes. No, it creeps up on you after the show. I've had bad shows. I've had very bad shows before. I don't know why I just did that like Pops from regular show, but I've had a lot of local shows go horribly wrong with other groups and whatnot. And I'm decent at improvising as far as like, oh, I dropped my wireless guitar monitor. Let me go ahead and dance my way to it and like pick it up and put it back in the guitar. I'm really good at recovery. And normally that would make you flip out. Normally you'd be like, oh, I cannot believe I just did that. And I always just get like it's a rush when you get up on stage. And I think in this portion here, what we're talking about, I would like to note that I am, for the most part, sober. I do not indulge in drugs or alcohol at all.
Is marijuana a drug to you?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I will debate the fact that like it doesn't do what people say drugs do, but for me, yeah, it's a drug. I don't mess with it.
Fair enough.
I'm all for it. I'm all for, you want to talk about legalization in the States and whatnot. Like, it is probably something that helps a lot of people out and probably takes away a lot of anxiety and stress levels and whatnot. Not me. Not me. I've had nothing but bad times on it.
No drugs.
I don't think it should be legal. I think it should be decriminalized.
Decriminal? Oh, yeah, for sure. Like, I don't really agree too much with the fact that, like, somebody has what they call like paraphernalia on them, and like all of a sudden it's like this crazy like out of whack charge. I'm like, I don't agree with that.
No.
Did you say you don't think it should be legal though, Lee?
Yeah, fucking government shit on it for how many fucking years, and now they want to make money on it. And they
Yeah,
want
I
to
mean,
put all these fucking small farmers and grandpas in the game.
Okay, well, let's get to two different points here. It shouldn't be privatized. It shouldn't be, run by the government.
But when you're pushing legalization, it's going to the government, dude.
It doesn't have to. It is, but it doesn't have to.
How are you going to stop it?
I'm not going to stop it. I'm just saying I don't think people should go to prison for marijuana. But again, I feel we're getting off
That's
topic.
why it's decriminalized. You only get a ticket, if anything.
Oh no, smoke weed. I'm not paying money.
I would like to respectfully move off the politics.
Yes. Like I said, getting off topic here.
For sure. You got anything else, Luke?
How do you feel about abortion? My bad, Lee. I didn't mean to interrupt you there. What were you asking?
No, you're good. I was seeing if you had anything else for this man.
Oh, I did, but my brain works very similar to grinding gears in a cartoon. So give me a second to recapture what it was. Oh, Christ, I apologize. I really do just have the memory of somebody who's been punched in the head way too many times.
No
crazy.
problem at all. Take your time.
When someone asks you what song they should hear from you guys, what do you recommend them playing if they've never heard you?
That's a good question. Good starter song.
Yeah. Okay. This is a good question. I like this question. I would definitely recommend to people if they do not know who we are. Obviously, we have a lot of tracks out now that are a lot more are in higher production than they've ever been, such as Deal with the Devil, Get a Grip, Life is Sweet. Like, we've been definitely maturing as we've been going along. But if I were to show somebody who have no idea who we are or what's going on, I think one of my personal favorites that I would recommend to someone is Monster. And if I remember correctly, Monster is either on the debut album or the second album. The reason I pick Monster and tell people to listen to that one that like have no clue what to expect, I picked that one because it has a very odd sound to it. If you were to tell somebody like, oh, this like, hi, we're Heathen Sun, we're a new metal band, people automatically think that when a group of people in the 2020s or the 2010 say that they're a new metal band, they're like, oh yeah, you're just ripping off so and so, ha ha ha, and they think that the genre itself just like plays into itself. Monster is a really oddball track for somebody who has that notion in their head, because I think that track right there definitely describes our sound and how we are different than most nu metal performers. And it has a lot of counterculture in it, in the lyricism from our frontman, Johnny Anthrax. It is a very interesting track. It is a very emotional track. You wouldn't expect it to be, but if you pick up on the lyrics and whatnot, there's a lot of it's a song about road rage. That's what the song's about, and it's very fun, very funny. It's a really good song to play. We have a lot of crowd interaction when we play it on stage. That track to me has always been the one that I would want to put on anything Twisted Metal related anyhow. And I think that one's just a staple song to be like, this is what Heathen Sun sounds like. This is who we are. That song has always stood out to me more than the rest of our tracks.
Despite it being a little different, it's
yes,
a good representation of what you guys do.
Yes, it is definitely one of the better songs to be like, this is who Heathen Sun is.
I like that. That's good shit. We should be able to throw that on. Give that a listen. Get anybody in the chat, who hasn't followed. You had that, didn't you? There we go. Anybody in the chat who hasn't heard it yet, and me, just because I'm really fucking.
I'm stuck, kicks up through your eye. I don't leave, I'm losing this fight. Getting really upset, I gotta work right. Dude, I know you see my blink the light. This is the day the monster takes flight. What about the blow and step outside? In this moment, I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, I'm gonna choke you till you have no life. Crazy train in my brain, God, motherfucker. Boom! Out of my way. Yeah, I'm gonna run the goddamn highway. You wanna bring up this monster to fight? This will be your last. Move, dude, get the fuck out of my way. Run away. Move, get out of my way. 3 damn cans, I'm stuck behind. 42 screaming kids to my side. 18 Wheeler creeping up inside. Port, bigs up, dude, right? That's not the pain on the front of my grill. It's too late for me to fucking chill. The only one option and only one deal. You need to get on my way, but I fucking kill. They say I'm a monster and that song go real. Yeah, I've kept them locked in a resin seal. Smoked out those thousands, how I like to feel. But you got me feeling I'm ready for my last meal. Get out your car and run up that hill. Y'all taste.
This is the type of song that would get me into a band if it was my first time hearing them.
Yeah, it's catchy, it's groovy.
I like the video a lot too.
And you can tell this is like earlier days of the group. Like, we don't have to match yet. It's very
yeah, it looks like a school bus got rented and then the rest is all just like filmed in random locations. That's early on.
That's it, I'm reaching in my backseat. This blast will make anyone meet. Go ahead and display hide and seek. In your car, feel safe and sleep. Loud and make you feel weak. Ready to steal, but I just want to chill.
I would for sure trip and catch a Heathen Sun though.
Ready to kill, ready to steal, but I just want to chill. Cruise on steam, one-handed wheel. Can't contain no boss, no pill, no kill. Ready? Go! Get the fuck out of my way. I'm gonna run you on the goddamn highway. You wanna bring that this monster to play? This will be your last day. Move, dude, get the fuck out of my way. How many times do I really gotta say? Pedestrian or not, I ain't gonna run away. Move, bitch, get out of my way. 3 dead kids, I'm stuck behind. 42 screaming kids to my side. 18 Wheeler creeping up inside. 4 bigs up, dude, you alright? 87 bitches, I'm stuck behind. 9,000 kids screaming at my mind. 22 cops creeping up inside.
That was a fucking dope music video. That's what always draws me into music the most. Sorry, I got distracted texting quickly. I'm an
Oh,
asshole.
you good? Yeah, man. But like, I think that's true to like what kind of sound we bring as a whole. Is like this is our spin. This is our flavor of what we do.
Okay, yeah. It's kind of got some funk in there a little bit.
That's what I'm saying. It's like that bass riff in there. It's just like when we play
Yeah.
that song live. Like I really enjoy playing that song. We've taken that track to a lot of places. We performed that at Incarceration 2024. That was
I-
very exciting. And
I do have a description of your guys' group now, in my opinion, and take this as no insult if you dislike the group, but you guys kind of sound like a more punk Limp Bizkit.
a more punk Limp Bizkit.
Yeah.
I'm a
Reminds
fan.
me of Limp Bizkit. I don't know how you take that.
I would say we have like a few elements from like Limp Bizkit and whatnot, but definitely not in. We're not in like the same exact category as them. I mean, Limp Bizkit,
Not the same category. You're right there.
yeah. I'd say we have the silliness. The silliness is there that can link us to Limp Bizkit for sure.
I don't know. I prefer Heathen Sun already to Limp Bizkit. I do love some fucking Fred Durst though.
Fred Durst is the man. He really is.
And he's that guy.
Oh yeah.
Now, outside of the tour or whatever, you guys got anything coming out here by summer?
More than likely, we would have something out by summer. We do not have an exact deadline, but we are working on a single at the moment. We're trying to go ahead and do a track that is a quote unquote stripper track. And we're trying to see if we can make a song for the ladies and see if they'll hop
A
around.
song to strip to, or a song about strippers for the women?
Both.
Okay, a song about. Okay.
Oh yeah. Yeah. We don't know. We don't know when exactly that will get set into motion as far as like, hey, we're going to be releasing this in the spring or the summer. We're not sure yet, but and I'm not saying like anything is like 100% confirmed. We may or may have some either like an EP or an album out coming this year. I'm not sure on that. I can't confirm nor deny, but I will say this is that we are going to have a few products set into motion around that time. Yes.
Oh yeah.
Well, I'm excited to hear what you guys put out next. I'm really digging what I've heard so far. So
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's we're not done. We're not done at all.
You guys are about to join my rotation.
I appreciate that. Thank you very much.
Oh, good. I've definitely heard of you guys many times before, and leading up to this, listen to more of your music, but just fucking, I don't know. Like, I guess I hadn't given enough of a chance up till now.
If I were to recommend an album that you start with, if you really want to deep dive into our discography,
Look it up right now.
start with the Gang album.
The Game or the Gang?
Gang, Gang.
where can everybody find your stuff? You guys, I think, are on like a shit ton of platforms where
Oh yes.
you guys are on. You go ahead and like plug your guys' shit.
Oh wait, could you repeat that?
Go ahead and plug your guys' stuff, like where everybody can find you. And
Oh yes, we're on Spotify, Apple Music, YouTube, pretty much iTunes. We're
Anywhere
everywhere.
you find music.
Yeah, we're wherever you can find music. But yeah, our heavy hitters for sure are YouTube, Spotify, and Apple Music are three main.
You can find Heathen Sun on Spotify, YouTube Music, or Seeping from Your Walls like blood in a horror film.
All right, that's excellent. Excellent way of putting that.
Yeah.
What are you most excited for overall to come? Like,
If you can talk about
it. Like, what do you hope to reach?
He spoke on that a little already. He wants a song in a Twisted Metal game or show.
Well, yeah.
That would be definitely something I would like to reach. I would just like to see from where we have been already and where we would like to go next is we would just like to see bigger and better festivals. We would like to have more connections to other people that perform like we do and write like we do, and just keep growing the community and keep growing with people that are in our genre that are trying to get ahead just like we are, and like have like just a little bit of a community with where we're going. We would like to join alongside somebody, go in the same direction, bring somebody with us. We would like to definitely see the numbers grow and do some more exciting festivals than we already have covered, and just see where it goes from there. But all in all, my personal dream would be to see something like one of our tracks be on a video game franchise like Twisted Metal, or a really nice movie, really good TV show, something like that.
Have you had any moving moments or like interactions with fans, or a fan come up to you like, "Oh, fucking hell, man, your music," you know?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, that happens all the time. Like that's definitely something.
It's gotta be a bit overwhelming if you've got anxiety, but also a good feeling.
Yes, no, I will. Yes, I agree with that 100%. Because like I try to distance myself so much from like walking around like the venue that we're in and like moving around the crowd. Like I do stay on the outskirts, but like so do the fans, so do the customers, and they always know where to find us. Like we've
Yeah,
never
they seek
had
you out.
a problem where like somebody who had like a connection to us in another state was like, oh, I tried my best to find you guys. Like, no, we're always out and about, and you can always run into us. And yeah, I've had a lot of moving moments with a lot of fans and people that have come up to us before at shows. It could have been something like, for instance, New Year's Evil. Yeah, when we were doing that show on New Year's, there was this this kid had to have been like 8 or 9, and he runs up to me. We're at the merch table, and this kid like pokes me, and like I'm in my uniform and everything. He's like, "Hey, do you remember me?" And I was like, "Yeah, I think I do." He's like, "You gave me a guitar pick." And in May of last year, we rolled through with Shaggy Two Dope to that very venue on the Psychopathic Soldier tour, and Monster was playing, and I was in the crowd, just dancing with fans playing the guitar riff to that. And
Oh yeah.
the little kid is standing there watching me do it, and I like see him. And sometimes it gets too rowdy and people will like mosh around me. So like I kind of like moved everybody around so it wouldn't turn into a pit and like trample this kid.
In a circle, like playing guitar.
Yeah, poke him with the guitar, man. Like they're not gonna get mad. He's watched me do this, and like I'm just jamming, like staring at him, making sure he's okay. And like after the song, I handed him a guitar pick, and like we fist bumped. And then New Year's Evil happens, on New Year's, and he just shows up and he's like, "Hey," he's like, "You gave me a guitar pick," and I was like, "Yeah, I remember you," and it was just really cool.
Yeah,
And
that's something you'll never forget.
more often than not, really. Like people that just run up to us and they're like, "Man, we've seen you guys before. You guys were so nice to us. Like, it was all laughs. Like it was really fun seeing you guys last year, like a couple months ago." And
That guy's probably a big fan now too. He probably spreads word around,
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, people really do like to share their experiences at our shows. For instance, like we do a lot of crowd interaction. We love to get in the crowd. We love to make people feel like they're a part of what we're doing because they are. So we always have a lot of people after one show a night. People are just sharing everything about the experience. They're like, these guys were so electric. It was a really fun show. They got in the crowd. They started moshing with us, you know. So yeah, more often than not, people show up to our next show, our next tour, wherever we're at, run into us, and we make sure they're taken care of. Um, you know, because like everybody's part of the Heathen Sun family that has seen us once or twice that want to come up and say hello. Like we treat them like they're part of our group and like make sure like, hey, nobody's gonna bother you here, or just stay out of the mosh pit, and we can get you through the door if something happens. Like it's really great seeing and feeling the connection with people that you run into on the road. It's very fun.
Are you the group?
Good.
Are you the group that will stop a show if somebody gets injured in the crowd?
If we see it, absolutely. Yeah, that's something you got to address for sure.
Yeah, I feel that's important. You know, I understand if somebody just gets punched in the face, you don't stop playing. But if somebody drops to the ground and they don't get up.
Right. And thankfully, since I've been in the group, we haven't seen anything crazy like that. But I understand, like, that is a problem, and that is something that people ask a lot of groups because, like, there's a lot of, like, elitists out there that are just like, no, man, just fucking trample them. Keep going.
Pick them up, crowd surf them to the edge, and toss them.
Yeah, and it's like, man, what are you doing? Like that person that just fell over is like 15 years old. Like, pick them up, make sure they're all right. Like, you know.
I mean,
even no matter the age, dude, you can get trampled the fuck out.
What's up, Lee? I'm sorry.
Oh, I said no matter the age, though, anybody will get trampled out if you fall down.
Yeah, I mean, if there's not people paying enough attention, you can get your fucking face stomped.
Right. Yeah, but thankfully we haven't seen anything like that. But if we did, like, yeah, that is something that would need to be addressed for sure, because that's a bit much right there.
I apologize, but I think this is gonna have to be the moment where I step out.
Yeah, I was just gonna say it's been an hour and a half, so probably wrap it up.
Right on. No problem at all. We had a great conversation. Thank you for having me.
For sure.
Yeah, man, you're good shit. Well spoken.
Maybe in the future, sometime in the future, we're gonna get you everybody on sometime.
Oh, absolutely. Yes. That'll be sooner than later for sure.
Definitely like to have you back on, even for a solo too, man. You know, if you just want to have another, you know, well, I was going to say smoke sesh, but you don't smoke. If you want, just come on, chop it up.
Absolutely. That works for me. Just like to say real quick, for everybody that has been viewing this, like I said, Spotify, YouTube, Apple Music, you can find Heathen Sun, S-U-N, not S-O-N. And if you want to go ahead and message me personally, Instagram and Facebook, Crypto Child, Instagram, cryptochild.x. If you catch us on tour or something like that, and you want to message us, tell us that you're coming to the show and whatnot, we'll make sure that you're taken care of.
He will personally give you free merch.
No, I didn't say that. Anyway, maybe guitar picks and stickers. I can work something out for sure. But
he'll give you a guitar pick while looking you deep in the eyes in the crowd.
This February, we will be going on tour with Ventana, Cyclone 9, and Heavy Hitter.
Oh yeah, and where will that tour be kickstarting? Where will the first
be starting for us? Our first show is in Covington, Kentucky, and our last show will be in Atlanta at the Masquerade.
Are you joining on with another group, or is it not you guys headlining?
No, yes, we're going to be joining with Cyclone 9 and Ventana, and then 2 shows before that, we will have our own little headlining shows. I believe Covington, Kentucky, and Indianapolis, Indiana, and then from there we will be on the tour package with them, and we'll be on tour for about 2.5 weeks.
Oh yeah, you have a estimate or an exact number for how many shows are on tour?
I want to say somewhere between 12, 14, maybe around 12.
Call the baker's dozen.
Baker's Dozen, absolutely. You can find us on Facebook, Instagram, and find out the sheet and where we're going to be at, and hope to see y'all there.
All right. Hell yeah, man.
All right,
Suppose we'll run
and I'll be in touch with you. Appreciate you. Have a good rest of your night.
All right. You guys do the same. Thank you again for having me. This was really fun.
Yeah, it was nice. Whoop, whoop.
Whoop, whoop.
What up, Cash? Motherfucker.
I'll be hopping out as well here, Lee.
For sure. I'm gonna play an indie outro song.
For sure. I'll stick around for that.
What you got playing for the rest of the night?
Gotta make a stop. And then I gotta eat. I don't think I've eaten at all today. And I gotta get some good sleep tonight because I don't start my night shifts till Monday, so I work 7 to 3 tomorrow. Much love, Cash. I was not paying enough attention to the chat or for the duration of this. My apologies if anybody was addressing me.
Love
I'm just
Cash.
a tired cloud.
Nuts. Yeah.
Fuck yeah. I'm not 100% sure what you're referencing, Cash, but that's dope. Third strain logo.
How many times do I have to tell you this? A little bit of me will make your life feel bliss. I made your dreams with a single kiss. I'm the shit, boom, boom, with the clip, no scum, I don't miss. Get aggressive, where the fuck I stand? I got the backup plans of a dropout plan. Far from single,
I did it. I fucking enough. Enough. You can take that cookie.
What's got me to hurt? Reality's like temper for bitch. You get a grip, I ain't addicted to your hips. All the money that you flip, no any of the bullshit you spit. This is what you got to admit. You gotta learn to take the hit. Just get the fuck off and roll with that. If a troll is red, what is that? Just know it doesn't take to get it down, just get it right now. Get a grip, motherfucker. Just get a grip, motherfucker. Get a grip. Yeah. Get a grip. Get a grip. Cause I'm fed up with the shit. I'm fed up with that. Get a grip. Get a grip. Cause I'm fed up with the shit. I'm fed up with that. I gotta say this a million times. Living this life like it's crime. Cause I'm a kid, what's mine? No regret. Be testing me with the lines. Get a grip. Cause I'm unloading the sign of the time. Still the king, that's fun. This life without a queen, you a fling. And you know I'm a flea. It's ski, disrespectfully. When I'm leaving the streets, I'm low. No one next to me. No, I'm not friendly. I'm solo. If you didn't know, now you better know.
Gotta keep the family out here.
You real slow. Living this life like you only live once. So pull up on me, you came to get some. Reality slips cause I'm a bitch. Can you get a grip? I ain't addicted to your hips. All the money that you flip, no any of the bullshit you spit. This is life that you got to admit. It's on. You gotta learn to take the hit. Just get the fuck up and roll with it. If a throne is where you want to sit, just know.
Oh, I finally remembered my question. Too late now, but I was gonna ask him how he felt about a lot of rock fans being fucked up all the time.
Your opinion is a cloud. It will be better if you don't make a sound. No, I don't need you around. Don't need you to throw me a bone. I can tell when I'm lost and was never found. Got so many friends on my team, but they ain't giving me tone. Don't need y'all in my air or on my ground. Cause I'm playing, I'm walking alone. Don't even matter how I sound. We're walking alone. Go away, go on. I'm fucking blind. Saying that I can't make you what's right. Thinking this is the part that you want to say. Well, bitch, you know that you always say no welcome to yesterday. Last week, shit with you, Pete. Reality slips, son of a bitch. You get a grip, I ain't addicted to your hips. All the money that you flip, no any of the bullshit you spit. This is life, you got to admit. You gotta learn to take the hit. Just get the fuck off and roll with that.
They find some cool areas to film these videos in.
For sure. I dig them. But yeah, I'm gonna get off of here and do some things.
For sure. You should all have a great fucking night. I'm gonna dip out of here right now. Let you give the last little outro. Whoop, whoop, homie.
Whoop, whoop, love you, bro. I will talk to you.
Yeah, you should hit me up later tonight if you got a little bit. Fucking, what time is it right now? I mean, I should probably have some free time, like coming up toward 10 maybe.
Right. Yeah, probably same here.
All right. I'll catch you, buddy.
All
Love
right, bro.
every chat. Whoop, whoop.
Love you, Cash.